Stick to the score. That's what matters.
Just doing a little improvisation, Ziggy. You know, drifting, taking it away a bit.
Drifting. We rehearsed the score as written, no improvisation.
Are we playing jazz or aren't we?
We are playing my music. My music. Now, you cut out the fancy stuff.
Okay.
I hired you as a member of a team, not as a solo artist.
Okay.
Well, remember it. Okay. Go get your shots.
Okay, that takes care of you.
Hey, Buzz, you look pale.
Shot full of holes.
That explains it. You're draining away.
Typhus, typhoid, cholera, and smallpox. I should have upped my insurance for this trip.
Propaganda. You don't need all that stuff for Russia.
You been there?
No, but I don't believe all that junk they tell you about it.
Cut the gab. We got work to do.
Commissar Levine. He's going to be at home in Moscow.
Robert Costello.
You didn't need to tell me, Mr. Costello.
I guess you need the works. Other arm, please.
Easy, Doc. This is my pitching arm.
Don't worry. Be a bit stiff, but it'll loosen up by the time we get to Moscow.
All right, fellas.
Don't tell me Ziggy took all these shots.
Why not?
Well, he's immune to life in any form.
Okay, you're fixed. I'll have the next one.
How are you, Mr. Deering?
I hope I'm not interrupting.
It's your show. What can I do for you?
A short briefing for the men, if you don't mind, Mr. Levine.
Fellas, I want you to meet Mr. Kenneth Deering of the State Department.
Hello, boys.
Since the American government is sponsoring this tour, you better listen carefully to what he has to say. You take it, Mr. Deering.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. Gentlemen, our primary object is to create goodwill. The Russian public, particularly the younger generation, have a great admiration for American jazz. I can guarantee you a very enthusiastic reception indeed. The Russians will be watching you very carefully. Therefore, I ask you to watch yourselves equally carefully. If you commit an indiscretion, it'll certainly be used as political ammunition against the United States. Now, forgive me if I sound square, but that's the book. I'm sure any musician that Ziggy picks will follow the book. So I'm asking you to play it cool, be friendly but cautious, drink all you can hold, but don't get drunk. Don't wander away from the group. And above all, don't fraternize with Soviet women.
Looks like we're going to have ourselves a real ball.
You'll have a very good time. The Russians are excellent hosts. But steer clear of trouble. I'll be accompanying on this tour, and I'd like you to come to me if you have any problems, and I'll do what I can to help.
Will you tuck us into bed at night?
I'll gladly do anything to keep the peace and make this tour a success.
Did you say this was a goodwill mission?
It is.
So why are you telling us to act so suspicious?
I'm asking you to be prudent.
Oh, you mean be friendly, but don't trust them.
Exactly.
Boy, if that's the way the State Department thinks. Cold War's here to stay.
Cold War's a fact. Haven't you read today's papers?
No, I only read Downbeat and U.S. Camera.
Oh, that may account for you being out of touch with events. Here, take a look at this.
Russian spy arrested. Soviet chauffeur held.
Well?
Well, what? So they got spies, we got spies, everybody's got spies. So why make such a big deal of it? And besides, what's it got to do with me? Yes. This time the Americans have got a valuable man. Diplomatic staff we can afford to lose. With men like this, we cannot. Took 7 years to train him. He's a specialist. Most deplorable waste. We shall have to take appropriate action.
The special order for control of aliens?
Yes, notify in-tourist and all connected channels. standing room only? Yeah, they tell me the scalpers are betting 2 party tickets for a concert ticket.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very glad and honored to be here. And now I would like to introduce Miss Yevgenia Makovskaya, who's going to interpret for me.
Get a load of that.
Our first number is a classic of the American heritage of jazz called Mousetrap Rag.
Naš prvi numer, klasik iz amerikanskega jazz, Mousetrap Rag.
What are you, a musician or a clown? If you want to be a clown, go join a circus. The whole audience saw you taking pictures of that dame.
I guess I got carried away.
You are hired as a musician, not as a photographer.
Look, I do what I'm told. I play every note right. I stick to the score. Do, re, mi, every single golden note. But my personal habits are strictly my affair.
Not in front of the public. Will you please tell him, Mr. Deering? Spell it out in nice, simple words.
Ziggy is afraid you might have offended the audience.
Right.
You think I did?
Russians are not used to such uninhibited behavior.
Did any of the audience complain?
The concert was a great success.
Well, isn't that what we came here for?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Ziggy, I'm sorry. I guess I'm what you might call an undisciplined musician.
Okay, let's cool it, huh?
Look, take pictures if you want. Russians love camera-happy tourists, only don't take them of their latest rocket bases or something crazy, huh?
Look, even Ziggy knows I'm not that dumb.
Yeah, but don't quote me.
Come on, let's get out of here. They're throwing a party for you guys over at the hotel. Compliments to the Department of Culture. Cars will be leaving in 15 minutes.
Have yourselves a ball.
Well, aren't you coming?
No, I wouldn't want my uninhibited behavior to offend any of the distinguished guests.
Now, let's
Now,
not be a
don't argue with him, Mr. Deering. You'll only make him worse.
Well, if you change your mind, you...
Don't worry, I have company. When the day's work's over, I like to play a little jazz. My name's Robert Costello.
Evgenia Makovskaya.
Are you angry at me?
Angry?
You know, angry, sore, wild.
I'm afraid I have made trouble for you.
No, I make trouble for myself. I'm an expert.
Aren't you going to the party?
No, I don't dig all that stuffed shirt jazz.
Please?
Stuffed shirt. You know, ambassadors, officials.
Oh,
What are you doing?
I'm saving up American slang.
Stuffed shirt?
I've studied English at the university. But to be first class, one must know American. I wish you would come to the party.
Why?
The other guests will wonder why you're not with your group.
I have a better idea. Why don't the two of us go out and have a couple of quiet drinks together?
You mean alone?
Yeah, just the two of us. You, Jane, me, Tarzan.
I cannot. It's not allowed.
Oh, you have your instructions too, huh?
I'm your interpreter. I must stay with the group.
Does that mean you're going to the party?
Of course. We could go together. I would be very pleased.
Well, if you put it that way, I'm not going to play hard to get.
You mean you will come?
It's a deal.
Are you glad now that you came?
I'm glad you brought me.
It's a nice party, I think.
I think it would be a lot nicer if we could go to a nice, quiet bar.
You know that is impossible.
Who's that?
Polakov, from the Ministry of Culture.
Is he your boss?
Yes, he is in charge of your tour.
Is that right? I'd like to meet him.
Polakov,
Yes. Will you introduce me?
of course, come. I'm sorry.
Miss Makowski.
Господин Costello.
Ah, Mr. Costello. Without your camera, I almost failed to recognize you.
Seems I've got a reputation.
Of course, you're a celebrity. We noticed everything about you. This is a penalty of fame.
Mr. Polakov, may I ask you a favor?
Yes, by all means.
This is a swell party you're giving here. I don't want you to get me wrong. But I'm the kind of guy that loves night spots. Unfortunately, I don't speak Russian. So, I was wondering if I could borrow your interpreter for the evening.
Mr. Costello, this is...
I'm sorry, this is my fault. I should have explained to Mr. Costello that private visits of that nature are not customary. I'm sure he wouldn't have asked if he had known that.
I don't see anything against it.
Mr. Costello was unaware of Soviet customs.
The Soviet Union is a free country. Mr. Costello is our honored guest. Yes, by all means, go. Enjoy yourself. And this is an official instruction, Miss Makovsky.
Thank you, sir. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Mr. Polakov, I must confess I am surprised.
I assure you, Mr. Dick, it is my pleasure to be of service. Will you excuse me?
I'll never know what makes these Russians tick.
You know I should be angry with you.
I hope you're not.
Would you like to see a Russian jazz club?
Now you're talking. Yes. Good.
We'll always speak English because I have an American friend. You all know him by name. This is Robert Costello. Robert, these are my friends. Anushka, Sophie, Manya, Yuri.
Hello.
Peter. Oh, they're students at the university, you know, all.
Tubby Abbott. Some surprise to meet Tubby here in Moscow.
We take recordings from the radio, from the Voice of America.
We also make our own music.
Will you play something with us?
Well, I don't know. I just...
Yes, please, please.
Yes, please.
Great
As a
honor.
special favor, come on, please.
Okay. How about the big jump? Ready? Who are these characters?
It's the police.
What do they want?
Они говорят по-английски.
Что хотите?
Тише.
Мы ничего не отделали.
Молчите! Слушайте, вы все, туда. Назад. И вы. И вы.
Now look
Идите.
here, comrade.
I think it's better not to argue.
Ступай.
I don't like being pushed around.
Идите в участок и вызовите грузовик.
Да.
What's going on here? I don't get it.
I don't understand. He says we are under arrest.
Mr. Costello. Mr. Costello. I can't tell you how sorry I am for this terrible mistake, Mr. Costello. I came here as soon as I heard what had happened. Please accept my personal apologies. Those responsible for this error will face severe disciplinary action. Это безобразие, товарищи.
What was the error?
Sheer incompetence. Stupidity.
Why was I arrested? What was the charge?
Someone complained that you were making too much noise. And this idiot grossly overstepped the limits of his duty. Come, Mr. Costello. I have a car waiting for you to take you back to your hotel.
Where's Genya? I mean, Miss Makovsky.
She's already in the car.
This sure has been something to write home about.
Oh, Mr. Costello, I hope you'll be so good as to forget this unfortunate affair.
Just put me in a soft, warm bed. I'll forget everything. Aren't they coming?
They will be released in the morning.
Sweet dreams, fellas.
Hello? Yes, I'm speaking from this hotel.
He was arrested by the Vice Squad on a charge of moral delinquency. well, the civilian police have no imagination. Yes, Polyakov. We'll make sure that such a stupid mistake does not happen again. He is far too valuable to us.
should never have gone out with that girl in the first place.
I had official permission, didn't
You
I?
had no encouragement from me.
I'll bet nobody ever had any encouragement from you.
I'm thinking of your own interests.
Deering, I believe you. And I appreciate your concern for me and for the good of the United States. But you worry too much. I'm a big boy now. I can take care of myself.
The State Department doesn't like Americans to have private contacts with Soviet citizens.
Well, the Russians are a whole lot more broad-minded. Even Polakov says it's okay.
That in itself makes me suspicious.
I always thought America was a free country. I always thought the Russians were the ones that said yet. The way you're acting makes me think I got things the wrong way around.
You're not even trying to understand.
Now look, Deering, nobody tells me what to think. I'm a Democrat with a small D. That means I play the music I like, say what I like, love and hate who I like, and eat regular.
That's a good philosophy. In the United States. In this country, it can lead you into real trouble.
What kind of trouble? Exactly. Will you quit worrying? Will you climb off my back?
That was a real ball you had yourself last night.
Good news travels fast.
Have you told him? Have you knocked any sense into him?
I'm getting tired of being knocked, Ziggy.
The other guys stick to the rules. Why can't you? You know why? Because you're a troublemaker. You've been a pain in the neck ever since you joined this outfit. If you won't listen to Deering, you'll listen to me. You better. I don't want to ever see you out of my sight again.
Anything else?
Yeah, plenty.
Write me a letter.
But what do you think you're doing?
Send it to New York. You got my address.
If you run out on me, I'm going to fix it that you won't ever get a job in a band again, ever.
Now, hold it, Ziggy.
I'm sick of being told how to run my life. Next time you send out a cultural mission, don't send out musicians. Send the Marines. They got a great band. But no guitar.
Now, look, Bob, take it easy. I didn't fire you. You quit. Where do I find another guitarist?
You're so smart, you figure it out.
Well, what do you want to have me do? Get on my hands and knees for you?
No, just stop riding me, that's all.
Okay, we'll call the whole thing off. One day you'll have an ulcer. Then you'll be sorry for what you're doing to me.
Well, is the lecture over, Mr. Deering?
Doesn't seem to have done much good. You're sticking your neck out over this girl, Robert. In this country, that's a rash thing to do.
Maybe. Just between ourselves. Don't you think she's worth it?
Do you like it?
No.
I'm in the gallery. Why are you whispering? It's so empty.
I like that.
Let's look at this picture.
I'd rather look at you.
Robert, please be serious.
I am serious. I think you're very pretty.
I like you too.
Even though I'm an American?
Does it matter?
No, not to me, it doesn't.
If only there were no politics. Life would be so simple.
Hey, why don't we just forget the politics, huh?
I do like you. Very much.
Evgenia! Почему ты здесь?
Speak English, Anton. Mr. Robert Costello, my brother Anton.
How do you do?
Why are you here with my sister?
Because I like her company.
It is not good for her to be seen alone with an American.
Anton, please.
It is not good.
I'm sorry you feel like that.
Already there has been trouble with the police.
It was just a mistake. You explained to him that...
Of course I did. Anton, you're being rude and you're being stupid.
I do not like you to go with foreigners.
I'm old enough to decide such things for myself.
Евгения, я думаю только о твоей репутации, о том, что будут говорить
Why are
люди,
you not
когда
in your office? It's 3:10 already.
Please, if you wish to be a friend to my sister, stay away from her. Stay right away.
Robert, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
It's not your fault. It's just that everybody wants to brainwash us.
We'll find a place where nobody can spy on us. Then perhaps they will be satisfied.
I guess I'll be.
After the concert tonight, Wait in your dressing room. When the others have all gone, I will come to you there.
It's just a word.
Please.
I learned a word. Malaku. It means...
Darling. Tell me.
I love you.
Darling. Milirka.
Stay right here.
Please, someone comes.
No one will find us. We're all alone. Stay
We will return to espionage after station identification.
You have been busy.
They meet every day. Sometimes twice, 3 times.
This is quite impressive. I think it's enough. Are they meeting this afternoon?
At her apartment.
Where's that?
Gorky Prospect.
Excellent, excellent. Things could not have arranged themselves better. Very well, Captain. I think the time has come. I like it. What's in there?
That is my brother's room.
Hope he's working late at the office.
He has an important examination today. It's for the state prize in architecture.
You're a very talented family.
We are both very ambitious.
I like that. Matter of fact, I like everything about you.
I haven't finished showing you my apartment yet.
What else is there?
It's the best thing of all. Come and see.
You're right. It's a great view. What is it out there?
Russia. All the way to the Bering Sea.
Nearly to America.
Nearly.
This deserves to go on record.
More pictures? You have enough ready to fill an album.
I'm a capitalist. Now smile. These photos are evidence. When I tell the folks back home about you, they won't believe me. But the camera doesn't lie.
Only 2 more weeks. Then you'll be gone. I suppose I'll never see you again.
You will, if you want to.
I want to.
You showed me your country. I'll show you mine.
I? Go to America?
Would you like to?
It's very difficult to get an exit visa.
You're an interpreter. What could be more natural?
You always make things sound so easy.
Americans are optimists. We believe that nothing's impossible if you want it badly enough.
In Russia, we don't believe in fairy tales.
Do you believe I love you?
You think you do.
I know I do.
We are stupid people, Robert. Because we are happy, make ourselves sad. At least we have the 2 weeks. Very beautiful.
Hmm?
I love you.
That is beauty.
You speak Russian very well.
It's not that counts.
Is that your brother?
He has a key.
Maybe he'll go away.
Что вы хотите?
You're Robert Costello?
Yes.
Evgenia Makovskaya? You're both under arrest. You will come with me.
What's it for this time?
I have no authority to answer your questions.
Wait, that's my personal property.
Oh, you admit that?
I have no authority to answer your questions.
But you have authority to photograph military installations.
What are you talking about?
This room gives you an excellent view of Moscow's aerial defense system.
Oh, come on. What are you trying to pull?
The evidence, Mr. Costello. We have it here.
You told me nothing.
I only met him a week ago.
And you met him on every day of that week. A stranger, and yet you meet him every day. Now, why? Why?
Out of friendship. I thought he liked me.
You're talking like a schoolgirl. What possible friendship can there be with a man that you do not know? You're contradicting yourself.
No.
What information did you give him?
No information.
Then what did you give him? Letters, papers?
Nothing. I gave him nothing.
Then why did you see him so many times alone? This man you had only seen for 1 week. At the Gallery of Art. In his dressing room at the theater. In your own home. Why were you always alone with him? Why? Why? Can't you see how bad this would look in a court of law? Do you realize now how serious your situation is?
I don't believe I'm a traitor.
You must think correctly. The man Costello is an American spy!
I do not believe you. It is not possible.
You know, I've played this game before. You don't have to make it easy for me.
You play very well.
You sure you don't want to take that move back?
No. I have made my move.
Okay. I hate to do this to you.
Checkmate.
What?
In 3 moves. 1, 2, 3.
We will leave you two alone. To talk.
Why have they sent for you?
I am your brother. I am responsible.
How did the examination go?
Evgenia, how can you talk of examinations when you are in such a position?
But I have done nothing, Anton.
Then why have you been arrested?
Nothing. I swear. You must believe me.
You associated openly with this American musician. Your behavior was stupid and irresponsible.
It's stupid and irresponsible to have fun with someone, to enjoy their company.
In these circumstances, extremely irresponsible.
I love him, Anton.
My dear Evgenia, you have known this American 1 week. You are talking bourgeois sentimental nonsense. You sound like an American paperback.
You are being pompous and boring.
Am I? Then let me inform you that if this charge against you is proved, I shall be suspect too. I can certainly forget about any architectural prize. I think that is something to be pompous and boring about.
The whole thing is a mistake. Robert is a musician.
Evgenia, listen to me. The authorities do not make mistakes. If this American has been arrested, then he is a spy. That is a simple, logical conclusion. You have to accept the facts.
I refuse to accept them.
Then you are a fool. And I shall accept no responsibility for what may happen to you.
Do you think I'm concerned what happens to me?
then at least consider what might happen to me.
Anton!
Please. Genichka, be sensible. We must both think of ourselves.
No! No!
Тише.
Would you be kind enough to wait outside, please? Now, my dear, come and sit down. I think I can understand now how it happened. You were intrigued by this young American's charm, and in your function as interpreter, you felt it your duty to offer him every hospitality. He was, however, far more persistent than you had imagined. Americans are well known for their lack of respect for foreign women. He took advantage of you and persuaded you to let him come back to your apartment. But at no time did you suspect that his ulterior motives were to collect information.
No.
Why do you persist in shielding this man? Why do you not admit that he was using you for his own ends? Is it vanity, Evgenia? Or is it shame? Or did you, in fact, know what he was up to?
No. I swear, we never spoke about military matters.
The man is a spy. We have abundant proof. You have been in his company and will therefore be required to give evidence against him.
What are the charges?
That he cultivated your friendship in order to gain access to your apartment, and that from your apartment he took photographs of military value.
The photographs were of me.
Yes, the photographs were of you. But it was the backgrounds he was interested in. Well, see for yourself. Never like this in Alcatraz.
Alcatraz?
You can.
Please.
Oh, Skippers, it's a joke.
Oh. I admire you, Mr. Costello.
Oh, you like jazz?
I mean your self-control. You are not in an enviable situation.
I wouldn't say that.
Siberia is not like this. People who go there do not usually come back.
Must make a note to avoid it.
But you can avoid it. Why don't you confess your crimes? The Soviet Union does not punish those who are willing to admit their guilt.
That's big of you.
If you will sign a confession, I can promise you a sentence of not more than 10 years in one of our rehabilitation camps.
I've already told you exactly what you can do with that confession.
The girl has already signed.
I'll believe that when she tells me herself.
She will do so publicly at the trial.
What have you done to her?
She confessed, quite freely.
Sit down, Mr. Reading. We will have some tea.
What I want is the release of Robert Costello.
That is not within my power. I can intervene when he gets in trouble with the civil police. But matters of espionage are more serious.
False arrest of an American national is much more serious.
Naturally, you refuse to admit that the charges are true.
You know they aren't. Order his release, and my government will forget the whole incident. Put the blame on an overzealous police officer.
Mr. Daring, I cannot interfere with the course of justice.
Have you considered the implications of what you're doing? Relations between Moscow and Washington are friendlier than they've been in years. And now, by this one ill-considered act, you're going to plunge us back into that atmosphere of tension and suspicion from which it's taken us so long to escape.
I remember your government insisted on the innocence of the U-2 pilot.
We're talking about a guitar player, not a pilot.
I prefer to talk about the Russian chauffeur.
I don't follow.
Have a look. He is an innocent man. What proof is there that our chauffeur is a spy?
The courts will decide after the trial.
Your press has already decided that he is guilty.
All this has nothing whatever to do with the case of Robert Costello.
Oh, yes, it does. It's highly relevant. Two cases are exactly parallel. Two men arrested for spying. You claim your man is innocent. We say our man is innocent. It is a situation which offers scope for negotiation.
State your proposition.
In exchange, Mr. Deering, we release a guitar player. You release a chauffeur.
I'll convey your suggestion to the ambassador.
I'll wait for his answer.
It'll take time. The question will have to be referred to Washington.
Your president is a very reasonable man. I'm sure he'll wish to make a settlement beneficial to both sides.
I wish you to know this. I personally am against the exchange of an innocent man for a guilty one.
It is very fortunate for Mr. Costello that you're not the one who will decide his fate.
How are you, Robert?
Fine.
Polakov has some good news for you.
Don't tell me. It was all a big mistake.
Not a mistake this time, but you're free.
What's it this time?
In the interest of the culture relation program, we have decided not to proceed with this investigation. I shall require your word that you will not mention your arrest to any members of the foreign press.
Is that simple?
No. Washington has agreed to make certain arrangements in order to secure your release. I'm not at liberty to give details.
All is well that ends well.
What's happened to Eugenia?
She has been released.
Where is she? I want to see her.
It is out of the question, Mr. Costello.
Leave well alone. Forget about that girl.
Look, I don't know what kind of phony deal you two have cooked up, but you're not the only ones that can make a bargain. Now, if you want me to keep my mouth shut, you let me see Eugenia.
If you insist, you might have 10 minutes just to say goodbye to her.
10 minutes is enough.
Very well. I shall arrange it for you at the ministry.
Oh, no. I want a private conversation in a nice, big, empty room. The reception room where we had the party downstairs will do just fine.
I don't think...
American artist framed by Russians. The press will eat it up.
Very well, Mr. Costello. I'll arrange it for you.
Virginia. They can't hear us. I haven't had enough time to put a wire under the floor.
But they're watching.
So don't look so guilty. Smile. Aren't you glad to see me?
It would have been better if we never met again.
I had to see you. Look at me, Genia. Look at me. I love you.
Don't talk like that.
Don't you believe me?
How can I believe what you say after the things you have done?
What things?
They showed me the photographs.
You weren't taken in by that.
The camera does not lie. Those are your words.
Photographs can be faked. And you know I'm not a spy. You must know that.
No. I don't know anything. Please let me go.
No. They told me you signed a confession. Did you? Why, Genia? Why? You knew it was me you were condemning. What made you do a thing like that?
I have to live in Russia. My brother has to live in Russia. I'm sorry.
Look, Genia, I love you. Don't ever forget that. I understand what you did, and I love you. Someday we'll meet again. Someday soon. You'll come to America.
Fairy tale is over, Robert.
I know we'll meet again.
Perhaps some other life, some other kind of world than this.
It will come. It must come.
Goodbye, Robert. I love you.
In a moment, scenes from our next espionage show.